I have the other ones available in there. But...
What? So, Luke, what are you drinking today?
Coca-Cola. Morning on the way to the gym and set my ukulele on top of the car and then drove off down the road.
I need a bow after that. Thank you. All right. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Yo! I learned my lesson from last time. What a welcome. Thank you. I drink the most fruity drinks imaginable.
It's laundry day.
It's laundry day.
So you always wear hats with laundry day?
I'm going to do you a favor, James. I just say, believe it.
So how did you two meet?
Well, there's these places in San Francisco. I think they're called bathhouses.
It's like one of those things where everyone wants to focus on like the big events that happen, but day to day, what we're doing is we're on like one of our draw streams, smoking weed, making comics. It's chill. It's so much fun, and like
Man, it's I'm not a YouTuber. I do this because I want to sell comic books. Bam! Yes, guys. It is Sunday. It is Sunday, guys. This means another episode of A Drink with a Brink, where I talk with other indie creators about their hopes and their dreams and their lives, but also their books and their campaigns and their creations. Because, frankly, I'm kind of bored with mainstream. So, yeah, and indie, guys, is where the passion is. All right, guys. I hope you're all having a fantastic weekend, a nice Sunday. My Sunday has been relaxed. It's very, very relaxed weekend. And guys, it happened. It happened, guys. So, guys, look at this. Perfect 10, issue 6. It's in my hand. It's right here. It is printed. It is done. I have boxes full of them. It is wonderful. I'm so freaking proud. I'm so freaking proud. Look at this, guys. It's so cool. The final issue of this arc. So we worked years to make this happen, and finally, and yeah, I can't tell you how relieved and proud that I am, and proud of my creative team. Because this is the same creative team. This is the same team that started with issue 1 and all the way through to issue 6. It's a complete book now, guys. So yes, I'll be sending these out to Critical Blast in the coming week. So if you backed, you will need to wait a few weeks before it arrives, because it first needs to travel to the United States. Plus, Critical Blast is now working on putting together the Perfection Collection, which is the collection of these six issues in one trade paperback or hardcover. And this, so they are putting that together right now. They will add some, there will be some bonus material. It'll be a surprise, but it'll be great. I'm really proud, and I want to thank all of you for making this happen, guys, because without you guys, this series would not exist. It's because of you guys, for you guys. And I was a bit nervous when this one came out, because the vibe of this particular issue is a little bit different from the previous books. This is the final issue, so it's and has been like action-packed up until this point. But I got the first pieces of feedback from a few readers who read it digitally, because everyone got the digital editions, and so far people really like it. So I'm relieved. I'm relieved, guys. Wow. All right. All right. Let's see who is where. Hey, it's Pops. Pops. Welcome, Pops. Guys, we are broadcasting through the Madness Entertainment Group. So this means multiple channels, multiple platforms. So thank you, Pops. And if you have questions for today's guest, just drop it in the chat. We'll bring it up and we'll ask him, right? Because we have a brand new guest today. Has never been on the show before. This means I can introduce you to new people and new people to you, right? So, guys, if you're watching, please like the stream and send it out. Send it out so we get some more people in, some more viewers. Let's have some fun. All right. I think we can bring the guest up right now because it is time. We have a lot to talk about. So let me see if I yes. I'm ready. The guest is ready. All right, guys. May I have a very warm welcome for the guest of the hour, Mr. John Casey Orozco.
Wow, that's the best way I've ever entered any sort of video in my life. So yeah, no, thank you for that.
Did I pronounce your last name correct?
Yes, you did. So
Orozco. All right.
Nice.
Excellent. What's the what do you call it? Etymological? The like the history of that name. Where does it come from?
That's my wife's surname. Well, one of them.
Oh.
So she's Colombian, and essentially her name was Orozco Tinoco, and that was one of her dad's surnames, one of her mom's surnames. So basically, we did the same thing for us. So Casey Orozco, and so the kids we're all Casey Orozco. So it's nice because we're like the only family in the world called Casey Orozco. But hey, it's
excellent. And you're from the UK, right?
Yeah, born in London, but now live in Scotland. So yeah, it's not it. It has gotten nicer the older I've gotten and the further I've went from London. So yeah.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I'm in the nice green hills now and go for walks.
Really? Scottish hills?
Oh yeah, it's lovely.
Excellent, man. Excellent. All right. I can't see you because you had some trouble with your camera, but I trust you. So I need to start with the first official question before we launch the interview is, what are you drinking?
I am drinking Iron Brew, which is a Scottish fizzy drink. It's orange in color, and it is actually. There was some obscure fact. Basically, wherever Coca-Cola is sold, it is the highest selling fizzy drink, apart from in Scotland, where it is Iron Brew. So it's a very Scottish drink, and yeah, very unique. Have no idea why it tastes like it. Just tastes like Iron Brew.
Hi, look at you blending in like the Scottish culture, right?
Yeah, just need to pick up the accent now.
yeah, and wearing kilts. Do they wear kilts there, or is that just a myth?
Initially I thought it was just for weddings. I had been to a few weddings and seen them, but I have now actually seen them just out in the wild. So yeah, it is true. People will just rock a kilt, and for some reason, if they haven't got a kilt, it can be freezing outside. They're in a pair of shorts, and I'm talking short shorts, and they're not going for a run. They're not cycling anywhere. They're dropping their kid off at school, and they're in a tiny pair of shorts, and it's like 2 degrees. Man.
All right. Well, that's part of the culture that you still need to do to really blend in, right?
Yeah, get used to the cold.
Oh yeah, right. Wow. All right, John. We've never really talked before, so first off, it's really nice to meet you. And I believe you make comic books. Is that correct?
I've made a comic book, yeah, and I've lettered 4 others, 2 different series, but yeah, I'm the continuing letterer on both of those series, so that's nice. And yeah, and the Kickstarter for issue 2 of my comic is currently running at the moment.
Okay. And did you offer your lettering services because you were making comics, or did you first started lettering before you made your own?
No, like I always wanted to like make movies when I was younger. My dad got me into comics, and I ruined some of his more expensive comics because I was a child and decided to color in the black and white ones.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that was that was a long weekend where I got grounded. But like comics was always around my life, and I like grew up with them. But I always wanted to make films. Quickly realized I wasn't going to head down that path. Maybe I was a bit too lazy when I was younger, but I wanted to make stories. Started getting into making a comic book and realized I don't have a lot of money, so I just learned to letter and did it myself. Put it on Fiverr just as like, hey, I'm a letterer. Here's some of my work, which was just pages of my own comic, and yeah. 2 people were like, I like that, and picked me up as their letterer. So that is Wonder Garden. It's like Wonder Garden. It's like a manga. Set
Oh,
with,
manga even.
yeah. So that's a manga set with classic, like it's.
Oh,
It's
because
like Cinderella, Snow
that
White.
is so. So did you want to make a manga style comic, or do you prefer like American style?
I grew up American style, like reading like when I was younger it was Marvel and DC, and then I stopped reading it, came back with Walking Dead, and then I started reading manga as I got after watching anime. It actually is when I started reading manga.
Right.
And then when I initially wanted to make my comic, it was gonna be a manga, but when I changed the concept and kind of changed the story completely, I was like, it doesn't have the right feel. I wanted something a lot grittier. To be honest, I was thinking, well, I love reading The Long Halloween. I used to go on long coach journeys, like to go to a parent's house. So I would sit there and I would read The Long Halloween. So that like I was like, that would kind of fit the story I'm going for, but I can't afford that. A lot of it came down to what I could afford. I found a great artist and piled all my money into that and just learned how to do everything else.
Okay. Wow. Welcome, Scribe Comics. Welcome. Yeah. So yeah. I think a lot of kids like dream of, I want to be a actor, want to do something with movies or even with comics or whatever, but there are very few that actually manage to get a career or do something like that, right? And you basically chose the route of comics because you wanted to do movies, but it was too much. It's too big a project.
Yeah, like, well, I think I got shot down in school pretty quick when they were like, what do you want to do when you're older? I was like, I want to make films.
Mhm.
And then I went to my art director during like GCSEs, which is like the final exams in secondary school. And I was like, look, I want to make like a 15-minute film of like this long table, a guy sitting at one end, someone sitting at the other end, and they're having a meal. And the camera just slowly turns around in 5 minutes. So it's facing the guy. And by the end of the 5 minutes, it's facing who he's talking to. And they were like, okay, and what's it about? I was like, this guy's just talking about how he's had a stressful day. But the person he's talking to is like his dead wife, who he like, you can see he's murdered at some point because the guy's got mad anger issues and stuff. It was just like a horror thing. And they were just like, yeah, you can't make a film. Like, so I was
You
like,
can't.
oh.
You just can't.
Well, it's not that you can't. It's just that if I wanted to, I would have to get everything like the camera and this and that.
Oh,
The school wouldn't be able to assist in any sort of way. So I was like,
really?
okay, well, I could, yeah. And at the time, camera phones were still at the point where you could attach the camera to the phone. So the quality wasn't very good. And yeah, I just ended up drawing a picture and I got a B. So I was happy. with that.
Okay, but this means you had that creative streak. You wanted to have a creative thing going on. You want to express yourself
Yeah.
through stories.
Oh, I always have. Even like it's always been a dream to tell stories. Like it's one of the things I always used to say when I was younger, and to my parents and aunts and uncles, they would like, "Why do you tell like little white lies?" And I'm like, "Because you believe them." Essentially. So it's like I could, if I was like, I can lie well. If I can lie well, I can write a story well, because stories are just lies.
Yeah.
But so that's kind of where it grew from, like where something was, which was very bad behavior, kind of modified how I behaved. So I became a lot better kid, but kind of focused my like creative lying into some sort of format, and
something constructive. Yeah.
And then and then it just took far too many years for me to actually kind of, it's just more laziness just to actually kind of do something.
Yeah.
And once my first kid was born, basically that's when I was like, I was 25. I was like, my whole life I have said I'm gonna do a story. Now I've got a kid, kind of have to like actually do it, because how can I justify saying to him like, you got to do this, you got to, like, this is your dream, do it, kind of thing, when I've got a dream, like to make a story, to share a story with the world. And it's like, I can't tell him to follow his dreams if I've kind of like chickened out of my own.
Really?
So yeah, that kind of was a big motivator to kind of like actually get out and do the work. So yeah.
Oh, interesting. That's interesting. Welcome, Cosmonaut Comics. Welcome, Marinus. Guys, go subscribe to Cosmonaut Comics YouTube channel for daily comic book reviews. Welcome, sir. Right. So you decided to do something with your creativity. You chose comics as your venue, as your platform. Did you already have a story in mind, or did you start to develop something once you made the decision to make comic books?
So I had a story in mind. Initially, it was something I was gonna try and write as a novel, and basically, I just didn't have the time, and the story it didn't feel right as a novel. Like I got like about 6-7 chapters into it, and I was like, it didn't feel right. It was like it wasn't the right medium. Like,
were you a novel reader?
Yeah, I was reading at the time. Like less so now, but I'm fully on comics now, so not so many, not really any novels. But yeah, no, it started as that, and I've had a few different ideas over the years, but this is the one that kind of stuck. Like I was just working at the Science Museum in central London, and they had like this little moon rock behind all these glass because of radiation and whatnot. And so they're like, you can't touch it, you can't go near it and everything. And then someone that I worked with, now I used to work on a building site before I worked at the Science Museum. So I wasn't the general type of person who worked there. Most of the people there are like art students or actual like science students, like just working part-time for uni. And then, yeah, one of my colleagues was just like, yeah, if you get two pieces of metal in space and kind of slam them together, they'll stick to it. They'll fuse together. And I just thought that was so cool. And like the idea for Oreium kind of just span from there, like just about mixing metal with, well, the way metal would combine in space. I was just like, how can I incorporate that? And just spent years after it kind of building it up and getting to where it is now.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I when you go to a museum and they have this little space rock and behind glass, and they tell you can't touch it because of like radiation. my thought immediately goes to comic books. Like
Yeah.
when you touch it, you maybe get some powers, or like that's how your brain works when you read too many comics.
Yeah, no, and I remember because at the time I was reading Green Lantern's Blackest Night.
Oh yeah, that's a good one, right?
And I was just like, oh, it is like all coming together. I was like, this story would really work, and I was like, and then I started doing a lot of research, like how can I make a comic book? And the first thing I saw was like do a 4-page for Future Shocks, like a 4-page like story. And I wrote it as a 4-page story originally, and then I was like, oh, it needs one more page, and before I knew it was 32 pages long, and I was like, oh, this is the end of issue 1, but there is a lot more pages to go. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. Marinus loves Blackest Night. Yeah, man. Yeah. So you had your story. By the way, when you said you kind of got motivated because you got your kid, right? I can imagine that you want to tell stories to your child also. So maybe you make up some stories for him.
Yeah, like when they put me on the spot, I'm terrible. What we generally do is when we're like reading one of their general books, my youngest will say like, make it funny. And then that's me then having to like kind of improv my way through it. I think once I had Winnie the Pooh throw Piglet into a tree, so Winnie the Pooh wouldn't get stung by the bees, and Piglet would, and there was lots of sound effects and stuff like that. But yeah, no, it's fun. It's just stuff to do with them, and no, I try to encourage creativity in my kids as much as possible. But they are both, well, my youngest is very creative, but my oldest is very logical. So, yeah, so I'm trying to, I just bought some Warhammer figures at the moment to be like, look, you can create these and make these and paint them however you want.
Yeah. Are they into comic books?
Slowly. My youngest, he's a huge Dogman fan. He literally has all the Dogman books. And that they're like, are a bridge, I think. I know they get a bad rep because a lot of people now, like in the general population, I think comics and Dogman is big. So they'll be like, that's the state of comics, and comic book movies are kind of a separate entity to the general public, at least, because I've heard a lot of people refer to Dogman as like being like a great comic. It's a fun one for kids. But from there, my youngest has started reading Sonic comics and Teen Titan Go comics. So he will get there. And my oldest, I got him, obviously, he was at the age where Enter the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse were like they're his Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films. Like what they were for us, they were for him. So I got him like a Miles omnibus because I pushed for Peter so much. I was like, this is really good. But no, he really wanted it, so he got it, and he's reading that at the moment, so that's good. And yeah, no, I'm hoping to fully convert them. It's just taking time.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I believe that it used to be easier for kids to get into comics because they were often connected with cartoons, and the ones you mentioned happen to have cartoons like Sonic is a game, right? But then you had you said Teen Titans, so basically that brings them to the comic books, right?
Yeah.
And it used to be like bigger, like broader sense. Plus, they were more accessible and cheaper, and all of that. So getting children into comics nowadays is a bit more difficult.
Oh,
plus they have a lot more distractions also.
Yeah, it's like I take them down to like the big comic book shop in Glasgow, and I'll take them to the comic section, and I'll be like, pick anything you want. You can have one thing, anything you want. Yeah,
All
There's
right.
been times though where they've just been like, no, like they don't want like, and I'm picking out things. I'm like, this looks cool. I think it's just a slight difference in how like kids are like kind of raised nowadays. Because I grew up watching like Terminator 2 and Aliens at like the ages that my kids are now, and it's like, and then I watch what they watch, and I'm like, no, they yeah, I probably shouldn't have been watching one. But like, disclaimer, I shouldn't have been watching those. But like, it put me in a position where I was like, when I saw Carnage when I was like 11 years old, I was like, wow, yeah, I want to see more of
thing
that.
ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but everything's quite soft now, which is why I think Teen Titans Go did as well as it did, because it took like. Because I never watched the Teen Titans cartoon show, the non-child version, but I've heard it's amazing. But yeah, they turned it into Go, and Go just became massive with kids of all ages. So it is funny, and it's funny even as an adult. Like, I'm sitting there laughing at some of the stuff. So yeah, they got me.
Welcome, Glenn Fleming. Welcome, sir. He says, hey, Dave and John. Welcome,
Hello.
Glenn. Nice to see you, man. And Gnarly Manga. Welcome. Hail, gents. Hail the friggin' chat. Welcome. Nice to see you. Awesome. All right. So I think it's easier to bring up your campaign so we can visualize what you're talking about.
Yeah, of course.
So let's do that. Let's share the screen. Then you have a campaign going on Kickstarter right now. It's active right now, guys. So add to the stage, and you told me it's pronounced Oreium.
Oreium, yeah.
Oreium Saga #2. So this means you have one book out right now.
Yeah, you can catch up on the Kickstarter, or you can go over and read it at Global Comics if you have a membership there.
Oh, it's on Global Comics.
Yeah, not to take away issue 1's on there, obviously.
Sure.
Not to take away from spending more money, but yeah, no, by all means, I prefer people to. I just want as many people to read what I write. So yeah,
of course. I see that you are funded, so congratulations.
Woohoo! Thank you.
Very nice. And you launched like 3 days ago.
Yeah, about 3 days ago. 4 days ago. Yeah.
Cool.
It wasn't a large funding goal. I rarely do. I just kind of do the printing, like cover the printing costs, and kind of take it from there. Because the whole book's finished by the time that I start the campaign. That was one thing I always wanted to make sure I did. I didn't want to like do something. I didn't want to start a campaign because I don't know what's going to happen with life. I originally started writing issue 1 in like 2020. So if I had done the Kickstarter then, I didn't finish it until 2024. So my whole thing has always been like, no, I need to. It's got to be funded. It's got to be finished like completely before I do it. All that's left to do in issue 2, I just need to run for a few times with the lettering and make sure everything's all right, and then I can send it off to, wait till my wife comes back and she'll read through it and pull up all my very poor spelling mistakes, and then I'll send it off to the editor.
That's perfect when you have direct access to your copy editor. That's fantastic. All right, yeah. Shall we watch the trailer?
Yeah, it doesn't say much, but yeah, go for it.
All right, let's do it. Oh, that's nice.
Probably should have trimmed the end of that.
All right, some images. It looks like horror.
Yeah, so
very dark.
the first one was very much like a psychological thriller. Issue 2 is like a straight up escalation of that. And what was a very like issue 1's a very personal story, very focused on one person, and something happens at the end of issue 1 which causes it just to explode outwards. And essentially, yeah, from that point it kind of just gets going now. And
Okay. So this means this is one connected story from issue 1 to issue 2 up until the next issues.
Yeah, there'll be 4 for this like arc. There'll be 4, which will be a full story. It's essentially a character named Robert. It's his story over these 4 issues. He is featured in this one, but it is obviously more. I wanted to explore more what the entity itself, Oreium, is, and we're gonna learn.
John, we have some news. Cosmos Comics says just backed book 1 and 2.
Oh, thank you so much.
Fantastic. That is excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's for you, Marinus. Thank you, Marinus. Fantastic. Excellent. Excellent.
Oh, no, thank you, honestly.
And welcome, Frederick Guimont.
Hello.
Welcome. Nice to see you, man. Really, really cool. All right. So, the story, Oreium. First off, what does Oreium mean?
It was very late at night, and I was just trying to think of a word which I could use, which no one else had used before. Generally, because it's a piece of metal, my mind went from metal to metal ore, and I was like, oh, what if I just call it ore? And then I was like, I'll just put Ian at the end. It really, yeah, I'm not like a creative genius. Like, I haven't like seen something and kind of made it from there. My mind just kind of followed a path, and that's where it ended. And I liked it.
Like a real word.
Yeah, I googled it. It's not. No
it's
one owns it. So I was like, nice. Yeah, I'll go with Oreium. And yeah, no, I did. It's a bit mysterious. No one really knows how to pronounce it. No one knows what it is. So that is actually perfect for what the comic is, because the first one is just a giant, like I said, thriller, but it is a complete mystery. And by the end of it, obviously, we will know everything. Everything's planned out. Everything's written. It's now just paying the artist to make the next 100 pages.
Right. Cosmos Comics says, you're welcome, guys. Price is good too, and I love black and white.
Good to hear. I love it. Yeah, black and white is what brought me back into comics. Like, I'd been away from comics for so long. Picked up an issue of The Walking Dead when it like before the TV show came out, because I was just big on Call of Duty Zombies. Then I was like, oh, more zombie content, and then just fell in love with comics again, and that started me like properly kind of like trying to go out. That's what made me stop reading novels. Essentially, just that slowly overtook like just reading like comics. So yeah, no, I'm glad it happened, and it helps with me because it doesn't cost as much. But again, I just got very fortunate that I found such a fantastic artist, and his style matches so well with like the dark mystery that I've essentially got here.
Right. Yeah. And you seem to be very story oriented, right? So it's not like for instance, a lot of 90s had like was more visuals. So people loved that, like spectacle, and then you probably had a name like Metal Storm or something like that with the basic similar concept, but 90s style.
That's the thing. It's like when I write the scripts, it's like I see it as if it's a TV show essentially. Like,
yeah.
and I'm like each page is just that. So I just like as I'm writing it, it's like this from here. Get the like I do it as camera angles, like bird's eye view, like from here, this angle. And I've shown it to other artists, and they was like, how does your artist understand your script? And I was like, I just don't know. I'm like, I can't stress how incredibly lucky I am to have Julio with me. So yeah.
Frederick says Metal Storm. I'm totally stealing that. Yeah, there are some words you can combine, and it always sounds awesome, like storm or force or blood. You make any combination, and it just works. Hey, welcome, Crenshaw. Welcome, sir.
Hello.
Welcome. He says, I am so excited for issue 2 and my opportunity to get the physical copy of issue 1. Fantastic. That's good to hear. So you already have some people interested, sir.
Well, I think it's because I left issue 1 on like a giant cliffhanger. So people are just like, okay, what happens next, John? You've made me like interested enough that I want to see what happens next. So no, I it was a good, and I had mentioned it before. The ending on issue 1 was a last minute change. Essentially, it's something that kind of changed up when the last like month just before it was drawn. I kind of changed everything, and it kind of flipped the whole way the whole arc is going for the better. I have to add.
I know how these things go. You have something planned, but things then you have to go what offers the coolest opportunities, right?
Yeah.
And you said, I think I remember you said that from basic concept up until finished book took you from 2000 to 2000. From 20 to 24.
Yeah, well, that was when Oreium was what Oreium is now. The original concept of like the moon, of where like at the Science Museum and learning of metals, like combining and stuff, which is like where Oreium kind of started, was 2015. So it was 9 years in the making, if I want to draw it out. But the way that Oreium is and seen today, that was from 2020. Like, if I do that, if I ever make other stories in the future, I'll be like, oh, this story was like 35 years in the making, kind of thing. So I don't want to. I do it from when the artist draws the first page. That's when that started. But yeah, so hopefully it goes well. And there's 2 more issues after this.
Well, writing the script can take time to get the story right. So before the artist even starts, there's a lot of work involved. And you made issue 2 and it's finished, you said, apart from some lettering, but it's finished. So you
all the pages
faster than issue 1.
Much faster, yeah. I put that down to having a much stabler job now.
Okay.
So yeah, I've got a bit more money to spend. It's still a 2-year turnaround, but I've halved that. So I would like to imagine that I would be able to half that again. But getting 2 years down to 1 year, it will be a bit of a push. I've just bought a house. Luckily, though, actually completely bought it, so no mortgage, which is obviously helpful month to month, which I will put some more money into the comic as long as my wife doesn't see how much I put in per month. So yeah, it will depend on that. But yeah, I've got the whole first 4 issue stories wise. I've got it completed start to finish. I've got the concepts for the next 2 arcs after that, and that actually would be the end of Oreium. If I continue after the 4 page, I'm ending it at a place after the 4 issues where like I don't have to continue. I could move on to a different story that could be it self-contained and done, and then bring it out as like a single graphic novel kind of thing, like 164 pages. So Yeah, because the first issue was 32 pages, second issue is 32 pages, but the next two are actually going to be a little bit longer because the escalation. It's all about escalation in the right way, and the first one I feel escalated in an appropriate manner, and this one has it as it unfolds. Like obviously, like people will see what kind of happens without giving too much away. Which is always my problem about talking about my book, because obviously I know what happens. So I always get a bit carried away. I'm like, this bit's really cool, but then you have to know about this, and if you know about this, then you have to know about this, and before you know it, you don't need to buy it anymore because I've told you everything.
Yeah, I know. You can just tell what you want to tell, and the rest is up to people to read. Right, but I know it's a bit stressful to end your comic with a cliffhanger in this little indie scene. You do crowdfunders. It takes a very long time, so you're kind of demanding your audience to like keep invested over like a year, 2 years for the sequel. I know this with my own books, right? Once per year we have this new issue, but people keep coming back, and that's why I'm so grateful that people hang on. They understand this crowdfunding model, that it is what it is, and they accept it, right?
Nice. I didn't even really know about. It was Matt Garvey. I basically kind of learned indie comic stuff from. I stumbled upon his YouTube channel, and basically I just learned so much from him, like on there. And my goal is to hopefully get it to a year turnaround. But at the same time, I can only move as fast as the artist at points. Obviously, he's working on page 4 of issue 3 right now.
Oh, cool.
So we have already started issue 3. It's getting there, and we've got that all ready to once he's drawn it. But that will still take a couple of months. His turnaround is generally like 14 days for a page. So
okay.
It's quite a lengthy process.
That's indeed a bit long, but if it's the quality you're looking for, then it's worth it, right?
It's quality and cost effectiveness. Because he's a good price for what he is.
Yes. So you said you were pretty like unique in your way of scripting, or very, very elaborate. So can you explain a little bit what your script looks like for this particular page right here?
Oh, so essentially it would just say like obviously the page is a brief outline of what's going to happen on that page, regardless, just an outline of what happens. So this was obviously 2 helicopters going across the desert. They land a small square box in the top left middle panel, small square panel in the bottom right corner of the middle panel, and then obviously describe what's in each panel, kind of thing. I do put in what is being said, because it gives him it helps. Like I don't like keeping anything from him, and plus it helps him like when it comes to a lot more facial expressions and stuff.
Right.
But and then basically he'll go off, he'll draw it, and he'll send it back, and then I won't letter it until I have all the whole book back, and then I'll kind of read through it, go through all my scripts. And I'm not going to lie, especially with the first one, and occasionally in the second one, there was points where I was just like, no, like we just changed the whole script. The imagery would stay the same, but like what's being said, the outcomes, like they can all change. So so there'll be points where it's like literally, or even when I'm sending him the script, like I'll rewrite the whole thing just on the day But the format's the same. It will brief outline how many panels, and then a description of where the panels are. Like I'll say, like I'll split it into top third, middle third, bottom third. If the middle third has like, there's been points where I've got like 4 smaller panels in the middle third, it'll be broken down to like middle third panel A, B, C, D kind of thing. And yeah, so when I've shown that to other people, they're just like, what? And I'm just like, I thought it was really like clear.
Breaking it completely down for the artists, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
so even points like, so that last one, it was like, I was like shot from in front of Robert lying on the ground. You can see the people, the 6 guards and the mysterious woman walking across the desert towards him, but I have obviously Robert closer to the camera shot. So yeah, even when I write it, I write it as if, okay, this is where I want the camera to go. Can you draw that, please? Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm not that elaborate, I think, but I do break down my scripts into panels for the artist. But I sometimes work with other writers and have different methods. And there was one writer who like gave this like description of what's happening on the page, and that was it. And I couldn't handle it, so I had to break it down, because I like to visualize things before I send it over to the artist. But every writer is different.
Yeah, no, I have it all. Like even the top left panel here, it was like, yeah, I said over the shoulder, like imagine you're lying in the ground over the shoulder of the guy looking up towards Becca, and yeah, and then he does it like, and I don't know how, like I know I didn't word it as clearly as I just said it, but he managed to do it. So
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So what's the deal here? What's the story point here? Who's this guy?
So essentially, basically Becca here has made her way to a small town, and she's just looking for people to join her. Essentially, basically there is an ancient entity that has kind of taken over her. The black speech bubbles is the entity who is Oreium speaking. The white rectangle dialogue boxes is the little girl's thoughts. So she's actually speaking to Oreium, kind of like they go back and forth through it. And Oreium's goal is to essentially spread and save the world.
Okay.
So Oreium wants to save the world, and there's some doctors in the first one who also want to save the world, and there is a larger conspiracy at play, which is briefly touched upon in the first one.
Right. You have some body horror going on. Look at these fingers, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like I described that, and that's what I saw in my head, but I know I didn't write it in a way where someone read that and was like, this is what I'm going to draw. So it like I said, the luck of me finding someone who understands.
That's creepy. Meredith says, yeah, looks great. Yeah, it is. It has this high contrast that works very well for this kind of story. A lot of tension, mystery, some horror elements.
It's just pulling it. Like I feel like by the 4th issue, like everything ties together very, very neatly. Because one of my biggest hang-ups with any sort of entertainment is like loose plot threads. Like I'm a stickler for continuity. Like I will ridicule TV shows when I watch them if I notice like something which like has messed with continuity.
That makes no sense. Yeah.
I remember I was watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with I don't know why I said it like Bel-Air. I was watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with my wife, and I'm pretty sure I saw Will Smith graduate college twice, and I'm like, what's going on? Like the continuity is messed off here. And yeah, but that's just what TV was like back then. They didn't care.
Yeah, Marina says, I also visualize the page before sending it to my artist.
Nice.
Mhm.
Uh,
It has to fit with the flow of the story. Does the next page make sense? Yeah, it has to make sense. Otherwise, so the readers, you want the readers to have a good experience reading your comic. They have to be invested, and anything can take them out. So if your story makes no sense, or like even typos, like everything has to be smooth, right?
I think that was one of the hang-ups with the first issue of Oreium. Because obviously it's very much a psychological thriller. Like what I was actually trying to get across in Oreium 1 was to kind of just mess with your head, with the reader's head, to get them to a kind of state where I wanted you to feel how Robert felt throughout of it. Which is kind of why I kind of went the way it is. It's very, I've had mixed feedback on it, which is fine because it's everything obviously is objective, so it's like subjective. Sorry, so it's just yeah. Like some people really liked it, other people were like, it was a bit mad, no. And that was my sister, so don't worry. It's like it's close members of family telling me that they were like, what?
Yeah, well, that's the thing with like feedback or reviews or whatever. You have to remember that everyone is different. Everyone sees different things in your comic. Everyone has different tastes. Sometimes a book isn't for someone, but they still feel compelled to like give feedback. So you have to really keep that
Oh no, I
in
love
mind. Plus, you
feedback.
have to stay true to your own vision.
Yeah, no, that's the thing that catches me out. Basically, it's like I'm happy. Like I want feedback. I like to get feedback. I would prefer things aren't sugar coated, but don't be a dick. Essentially,
Yeah.
like that's one of my general rules in life. Like be honest, just don't be a dick about it. So yeah, but yeah, no, I always want feedback, but what I sometimes worry about feedback is that how it can influence your actual story. Like I've noticed, some people have given me feedback and on different stories, and I'm happy to receive it. But at the same time, I was very wary of not to let it change where the story was going because they don't know the bigger picture, kind of
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, you do take it on board, and you like. I do the thought exercise where I'll take their change on board and essentially play out the story in my head. And I was like, okay, but if I do that, then this doesn't make sense. And this was established before this change. So then how do I tie that? Like, yeah, so yeah, but it's just my very strange
Yes.
thought process.
Welcome, Kyle. He says, hello, Dave and John. Continuity, no crisis on Infinite Earths, John. Yeah, no. Right. Yeah, and sometimes I love it when people take the effort to review our comics, but sometimes you get like reviews and you can tell they view things with different eyes. So, and sometimes they have like feedback, which is someone wants something like, for instance, one reviewer said there were too many characters named throughout the book, so couldn't remember. And another reviewer said he wishes the characters were named more often so he could remember. And I'm like, so
you can make only one of them happy. Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually, you have to do what feels right to you. What you want to read is basically the comic that you want to read. That gives,
Yeah.
and then don't worry about keeping everyone happy all the time.
No, I think that's why it's very important. Like, because obviously, like I said, I've got my wife to help me with all my grammar and spelling mistakes. She'll sweep all that up. So she's putting her English degree to use there, and then you've got and then I've got like two trusted friends who have a very similar mindset when it comes to like stories. So I generally will send it over to them and let them kind of like have a read through it and kind of figure out what's best for, like, what do they think. I trust what they say, and they know how my mind works, so that like, there's been points where they'll see something, they'll be like, okay, so this will lead to this, and I'm like, yes. But then it's like, how many other people will have that same thought process?
Yeah. And Mariners Flying Dutchman. Some people like Flying Dutchman, other people don't. I don't know. I like him, so he's staying in. So let's go through your perks quickly. So you have a digital copy, which is fantastic. I think everyone needs to offer backers the option to get digital if they want to support you, right? So for £5,
Yeah, so I think in dollar, I'm not sure what that is in dollars.
€6, guys. You can get a digital copy of Oreium #2. Fantastic. Then we have the digital copy of issue 1 and issue 2 for $7.
Yeah, so I already had some feedback on that, which was essentially the person was like, I won't back this issue. I'll wait until you get to issue 6, and then I'll pick this one up. And I was like, no, that's like, he was like, people buying it now, they can, like, you sold issue, because issue 1 was originally £4 as the digital one 2 years ago. Obviously things have changed and the artist price went up, so I was like, okay, I'll make a slight adjustment to there. And then basically he messaged and he was like, so it's like 50% cheaper for them to get in now. And I kind of explained it. I was like, I get it, and if you don't want to, don't worry, the last issue will be issue 4, so keep an eye out for that. But I was like, it's been on Global Comics, so if you've got a membership there, you're able to read issue 1. I was like, there's been points where I've given it away for free. There's been points where I felt like I can't justify something that's been out for 2 years to sell it at the same price that it was originally sold at, especially for like, I don't know, maybe that's me being moral, how I would like to see things. So
well, it kind of depends. For your digital, you can say, well, you have like a discount for digital, but for physical books, eventually you run out, so they become more scarce, right? So so they go up in price. Anyway, really good that the people can get the digital copies. Then you have the physical for about €9, and you ship anywhere in the world, which is great. That's a good deal for a comic book.
Yeah, no, it's again like I'm very conscious. Like, I've backed like 81 different comics like on here. Most of them are digital because when I see the shipping cost, it's like, if I didn't have 2 kids and all these bills to pay, like, I would have shelves for your comics, but I barely have shelves at the moment. And then to spend like some of the shipping I've seen, it's like £15, and I was like, it's more than the book. I can't I can't justify that to my wife. I sound like I'm under the thumb, but it's an equal relationship.
Right. Yeah, I get that. By the way, you are published through Bandbox.
Yes.
Yeah, I talked to those guys.
Chris.
They're doing great. Right, with the catalog, and people seem to be content there, for the books to be published there.
Yeah, like, I've been there for quite a while. I remember I actually I found Chris because I was doing a lot more on Twitter or X, whatever you like to call it, like all the promotional shares, and he used to send his artificial book over, and I used to obviously share that, and I backed it and I read it, and then I was like, I've got book 2, and then we started chatting, and he was like, do you want to come over to Bentbox? They told me all about it. I was like, definitely. And the work at Bentbox, like it's just there's something for everyone. It's such a vibe, and it's like yeah, everyone that I've met there is just like, yeah, I just want to make a good comic. There's no nothing, there's no rivalry, there's nothing political, there's nothing. It's just a place, it seems, where if you just want to kind of get on and make your book, yeah, swing by.
I also noticed that they're like what they're offering is kind of different. So it's something else from what you see through other like indie publishers. It's like something for different tastes, right?
Yeah, it's a good mix up, because
yeah,
it like because you've got mine, which isn't your typical like.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
Which is good,
it's
man.
not typical.
Yeah, we need variety. So for 14 euros, people can get both physical copies, which is a fantastic deal, guys. This is great. 2 books, and both are 32 pages. So you have like 64 pages of story for just 14 euros. And for 18 euros, you get, what's this? Oh, the digitals plus the physicals, right?
And a limited signed print of the cover. Yeah.
Oh, it says it here. Oh,
Yeah,
signed. Oh, yeah.
But that's like, because it sounds so simple, but I am just like a really simple guy. Like I will do a thing. I did like chunky bookmarks for the first one, and I want to do them again because I like them. But like I don't offer a lot of like extras or anything. Like I'm very much like I'm here to tell a story. I want to share the story. I hope you like the story and you stay on long enough to finish the story. And if enough people like it, I can keep that story going. Yeah, so I would love to get to a point where I can make money out of it and like do stickers and all that. Don't get me wrong, the first one basically almost broke even. I think I was only £100 shy of it actually completely breaking even. It made £1,600 pounds. It costs like £17.50 to make, so it's close. But yeah, I'm just here to share what I think is a very good story.
Good. Carl says Oreium Saga is a landmark, standout, seminal indie comic, a perfect debut, true to the vision of its creator. Terrific noir art. Robert's dark reality is compelling. Can't wait for issue 2.
And I'm sending his check after this live is finished.
Look at that. That's some stellar praise, man. Did you guys see Chris Bentbox's different range of indie comics on the indie stand at that comic shop? No, I knew it from interviews, and I came across their website. Crenshaw says, my wife thinks comics are still $3. She'd murder me if she found out how much these crowdfunding books are. Yeah, it's crazy sometimes, right? But it's like a false comparison also, because they could be $3 if we were like big and we could produce monthly books, right? But it's small creators. We do what we can. It takes a lot of money to make these comics, and we have small print runs, so it is what it is, man.
Yeah, that's the goal. With, if I can, obviously my whole thing is get to essentially the trade, and then that'll be very easy. I once the trade's out, I don't think I'll do floppies of the first 4 issues again. So
no.
Yeah,
same here.
I'm got I will push that on the final kind of 4th issue of the Kickstarter, just kind of being like, this is your last chance to get floppies of 1, 2, 3, 4. If you don't want them, don't worry, trade's coming in 6 months. You can jump on that. That's what, because obviously you've been doing fantastic, and like the experience, like I always want to find something out. Like what, obviously with the Perfection Collection, like
Yes,
all
let's
that.
bring it up.
Yeah,
Thank you for the segue.
it's all right.
Fantastic. Guys, this is launching this month. So end of this month we are launching this on Kickstarter. So if you missed the Fuck My Comic campaign, don't worry. And as I said in the beginning of this stream, this is now at Critical Blast. So Critical Blast is putting this together. It's 192 pages of comic book story plus bonus material. So it's like it's 6 years worth of work in one like big volume. I'm really proud of it, and I'm really glad that people didn't wait until until the trade paperback to support it. Otherwise, we couldn't have made all these single issues. So thank you all, guys. So if you missed it, go get notified. The link to this is below. I will also put it in the chat for a moment. So copy and put it in the chat. So if you haven't notified or subscribed to this just yet, please do, and you will be able to back this end of this month, and it will be live for 30 days because the book is basically done, guys. So all we need is more viewers and get this thing out there. All right. Remove.
Well, I've just hit my. Oh no, yeah, I'm already notified on it. So yeah, I'll be there. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'll be there for it.
Excellent, John. Thank you for being my guest for today and talking
thanks
about
for having
your
me.
books, man.
No, thank you for having me, honestly, and yeah, I'll work on my public speaking. I think I've rambled a little, but it's all right. I'm just happy to have had the opportunity to. I've watched your show a few times, so to actually be on it, it's nice. So thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. And don't worry, you did great. Sometimes there are people, and every question is like, okay, there. So you are very easy to talk to.
Oh, thanks.
All right. Thank you, John, and thank you, chat. Thank you all for being here, guys, and for the questions and the comments and for the backing. Thank you so much, and for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah, so share out the campaign, share out the stream. If you like this conversation, please give the stream a like, and if you didn't like the conversation, give it a dislike. And I'm sorry. And I'll be back next week. So next week, same channels, so multiple channels, guys. Same time, new guest. Hope to see you guys then. See you then. Bye, guys.
Bye.